Today, Maharashtra is witnessing one of the most significant civic exercises, with voting underway for 29 municipal corporations across the entire state, including the Brihanmumbai Municipal Corporation, the richest and the most powerful civic body in the entire country. The BMC election is not merely about choosing corporators. It is about deciding who controls Mumbai's civic machinery, its massive budget, and the future of everyday governance in the country's financial capital. However, instead of a smooth, democratic process, voting day has exposed worrying cracks in the system. Since early morning, voters across Mumbai have been facing confusion and uncertainty along the polling stations. Several citizens complained that their names were missing from the voters list, while many people informed that their polling booths had been changed without prior notice. Voters were sent from one school to another, often without proper directions. Senior citizens, women and first-time voters were seen struggling, standing in long queues or arguing with polling officials, unsure of where and how they could cast their vote. Now, what makes the situation even more disturbing is that this chaos has not spared political leaders either. Shiv Sena UPT leader and Rajya Sabha MP Priyanka Chaturvedi also faced problems while trying to vote. She was reportedly directed to alternative polling station due to issues with her voter list. This raised serious questions about how accurately the electoral process were prepared and updated. When elected representatives themselves face hurdles on voting day, this reflects administrative failure rather than isolated errors. This problem became even more glaring when Maharashtra minister and senior BJP leader Ganesh Naik publicly stated that his name was missing from the voters list at his usual polling station in Navi Mumbai, where he has been voting for years. He was forced to run between multiple polling booths, facing confusion over room numbers and list, before finally managing to cast his vote after several hours. Naik openly criticized the State Election Commission, stating that if a minister can face such difficulties, the plight of common citizens can be only imagined. This brings us the most uncomfortable question of the day. If ministers, MPs and senior leaders are struggling to find their name on the voter list, what hopes do the ordinary voters have? What about the elderly who cannot walk long distances? What about the daily wage workers who lose income if they spend hours at the polling stations? What about women managing households and children, or young voters who are voting for the first time? For them, confusion at polling booths does not mean just inconvenience. It means exclusion from the democratic process. Now, voting is a right. It is a fundamental right, not a favor granted by the system. When citizens are made to search for their polling booths or stand helplessly as officials flip through incomplete lists, democracy itself is at a hit. Elections are meant to strengthen people's faith in governance, not exhaust them by their patience. On a day as crucial as this, administrative preparedness should have been flawless. Sadly, the reality on the ground tells a different story. Adding to the unease, this is another controversy that surfaced during the voting process: the issue of indelible ink. Since morning, several voters have claimed that the ink applied on their fingers after voting is fading or getting wiped off easily. Now, these claims triggered concern and suspicion, especially in an election where political stakes are extremely high. Now, in this election, it is particularly crucial about the Mumbai's political history, because the undivided Shiv Sena once ruled the BMC for decades, shaping the entire city's civic identity. After the party split in 2022, political equations have changed dramatically. For the Thackeray brothers, Raj Thackeray and Uddhav Thackeray, these civic polls are about reclaiming their lost prestige and proving that relevance in Mumbai. For the BJP Shiv Sena alliance, it is about cementing control about their resounding victory in the last year's assembly elections. In such a high-stake battle, even small administrative lapses can snowball into major controversies. Mumbai is not asking for perfection. Mumbai is asking for basic efficiency. Today, many voters stood in long queues longer than expected. Some argued with officials, some returned home disappointed. Some even did not vote. That is the greatest failure any election process can suffer. While the results are to be declared tomorrow, today's voting experience must not be forgotten. Democracy does not weaken overnight. It weakens when small failures are ignored and brushed aside. If trust in the voting process erodes, rebuilding it becomes far more difficult than conducting an election. This election day must serve as a warning. The right of the voter must never become a struggle. Democracy survives not only on ballots or EVM, but on the belief that every citizen's voice truly matters. Keep watching Lokmat Times. I was your host, Gaurang.